Welcome to the Alabama Statutes discussion. A lot of people think that taking their exam is the most difficult part of the entire process. But I've found that I'm so relaxed once I get to the exam room because I've gone through all the frustration. The frustration of applying for the exam, the frustration for answering the board's question, the frustration for getting the statutes and the materials together. It's so time-consuming. I can spend months sometimes getting ready for these exams. Well, the good thing is that Alabama is an easy state to get your application approved. They're very friendly, very kind. But the most frustrating part of Alabama has to be getting your study materials together. Alabama is a closed exam, so you better know this stuff cold. And the good thing is that Alabama provides a study resources. So if you go to our second tab here, it's called the ALLS Exam Information Sheet, and it's published by the board. Now, additionally, they have an ALLS exam materials, study materials, and it lists all the different types of questions, all of that stuff. But what I really want you guys to focus on is the page where it has the list of all the things you need to study for. Now, I recently got licensed in Rhode Island. And Rhode Island, like some other states, they say on the top of their exam blueprint, this list of study materials is not exhaustive. Well, what they mean is that they're going to give you questions that are not based on any of the exam materials they tell you about. What a scam. Well, Alabama does not do that. Alabama gives you a really nice list of suggested study materials, statutes, administrative code, books, articles, and their exam really is based on this list of stuff. So you want to make sure that you read the exam blueprint and the list of study materials very carefully. But here's the thing. This list of study materials is poorly written. And it's not poorly written intentionally, but it is poorly written just because a lot of this stuff, the name of the material is not accurate. So, for example, on the first line, it says, study material, Code of Alabama, 1975. Wait a minute. So they're telling you to go find the Code of Alabama as it was in 1975. I emailed the board and they told me this was just a typo. I'm sure they copied the Code of Alabama from some online source or whatever, and that was just left over. So we're going to want to make sure that you get the current Code of Alabama, which is in our statutes binder, not the Code of 1975. Now, how about this? So after that, you've got a list. Now, what I don't understand is it has two sets of Code of Alabama 1975. Title 34, then Title 35. Why is it not in sequential order, and why is it not in one block and not two here? Okay, next, Board Administrative Code. It is true that you will need to review not only the statutes, which is the Code of Alabama, but also the administrative code. So remember, the legislature writes the statutes, the Board of Surveying writes the administrative code. Okay, that's the acts and the rules. But where exactly do you go to find such Board Administrative Code? If you follow this link, it will take you to another page, which is not going to help you very much. Now, the next line, Alabama Department of Health Rules for On-Site Sewage Disposal 420-3-1. This is, first of all, not on this website. And second, this is another administrative code. So not only do you need the administrative code for the Board of Surveying, but you also need the administrative code for the health rules, which is a sub-statute of something else. PLS Standards of Practice, no problem. Alabama Boundary Law, nice book, Jeff Lucas. Brown's Boundary Control, you can get a copy of that from us. Restoration of Lost Corners and the BLM Manual comes in your combo. And then miscellaneous information pertaining to Alabama surveying, you get that in your statutes binder from us. Now, the next thing here is the National Flood Insurance Program. We'll put that form in there for you, in the FEMA regulations. The FEMA regulations are funny because if you go to this website, it takes you to a generic page, and you have to make sure that you search for this, or you can simply get it in the statutes binder included. So in the end, the Alabama board is not intentionally trying to confuse you like some other states, California, but they are going to provide you an outdated list of study materials, and study materials that are not 100% in sync with the actual exam. So if you'd like to get a copy of what you should be studying before your exam, check out our Alabama ALLS statutes binder. And my last tip for you is, when you get this, it's going to be tabbed with the titles and the sections and the names, everything. All of this is labeled based on the ALLS exam blueprint. But what I'd like you to do is, I want you to go through this again, and I want you to label what is the most important topics you think will be on this exam. Minimum standards for boundary surveys, CEU requirements, whatever you think is important for this exam, you need to put your own tabs in there. Because not only do you have the tabs of the different sections, the different documents, but you need to have these important topics tabbed. And that's going to allow you to quickly go to things when you're studying, number one. But it's also going to imprint the important stuff in your mind. Because when you get in the exam, you're going to have a dump of adrenaline. And you're going to go from a reasonably intelligent person to a caveman because you're freaked out by the exam. It happens to me even after a dozen of these state exams. And you have to fall back on your lowest level of training. So when you fall back to the basics, you still remember, oh, it's 12 CEUs. Oh, I renew my license every year. Oh, I've got to use a 5/8 inch rebar, whatever. You've got to have all those things loaded in the back of your mind, and getting the statutes binder and studying it is the best way to pass your exam, because most of the stuff you're going to see on the exam is going to come from the acts, the rules, the codes, the extra FEMA documents. And if you've got that combined with a great legal background from Brown's or another book, you'll be in good shape for your Alabama exam. I'm excited to see you guys get licensed, and we're going to do everything we can to help you get your license fast, easy, and efficiently. We'll say that. So I hope you enjoy the new statutes binder. I'm excited. Hope you're excited. We will see you in the next video, where we talk about the practice exam and what's on the Alabama exam in terms of material. We'll see you there.
If you found this video helpful and informative, I would appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up button to like the video, and then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way, more people can find this video and it can help them. Plus, when you hit the subscribe button, you'll be able to watch the newest NLC videos as soon as they come out.